Yeah, man. Shalom. Um, like literally, I forgot the glasses as well. I was supposed to bring my glasses and a tripod, but obviously, I'm just gonna have to do it like this, man. But yeah. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, told me the truth, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. And again, I got this article which it says, World War III fears as US Air Force drops nuclear gravity bombs from fighter jet. And it says, World War III fears have been sparked after the energy. You know what? Let me bring this closer. You know what? I'm hoping that that's good, but World War III fears have been sparked after the Energy Department and Air Force successfully completed the first ever test of dropping unarmed. So I mean, it's unarmed. But even then, they're just showing off the weaponry, if you wanna say it like that. Air Force successfully completed the first ever test of dropping the unarmed B-61-12 nuclear gravity bombs from an F-35A fighter jet in August. And it says, and even that, even if we can actually get the scriptures for that. And now, yeah, I found out what Apollyon is. I found out what Apollyon is. Apollyon is basically going into Satan. And when you break the scriptures down, you find out that Satan, being the deceiver, going into these Edomites. Then again, the scripture for that, or the breakdown for that, is second address, not second address. Yeah, I'm good. Second Thessalonians. Two and 9. Actually, let me start at 8. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the Lord's physically gone to destroy them. And in that, the spirit of his mouth being his prophets. And even then, verse 9, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So yeah, there's a people on this earth that come in the spirit of Satan. And then again, I'm going to get this scripture as well, Revelation 6. Yeah, Revelation 6 and 4. I said, and there went out a second horse, It's like I remember that again. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat on him to take peace from the earth. And it says, and they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. The great sword being those intercontinental ballistic missiles. And I just realized it's actually raining. It's raining, but it's light. Light rain. And even then, that going into World War III. And essentially, they're gonna show us these weapons, man. First of all, they're gonna show us. They're gonna show us these missiles, man. Not only these missiles, but these ICBMs, all the different types of missiles. Like the you got the ICBMs, you got the what else is there? I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like I've literally forgotten what it's called. But it's a type of missile anyway. Oh yeah, a hypersonic glide vehicle. Yeah, a hypersonic glide vehicle. In which the hypersonic glide vehicle, they can fly literally forever. Literally, that's what they've been made to. That's what they've been made to do. They've been made to fly forever until it finds its target, basically. Yeah, and it says Sandia National Laboratories, which helps oversee America's nuclear weapons, announced the news this week. Sandia said in a Thursday statement that it worked with the National Nuclear Security Administration to run several flight tests at the Tampa Test Range in Nevada from the 19th to the 21st of August. And I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm hoping you can hear me. And it says personnel on the aircraft from Hill Air Force Base in Utah. It reminds me of that dream that I had with the album Manati Zakba. When the missiles came and destroyed us, man. Not the missiles. They fired off the explosive rounds and it basically died, man. We died. Me and Manati Zakba died. But we came back to life. And that's by way of the Lord, really. The Lord brought us back to life. It was reincarnation. Not reincarnation. It was, what's it called, man? Yeah, it was resurrection. That's what it was. And it says, and there were the first and only tests so far of the B6112 nuclear gravity bomb being released from an F-35. They marked a major step toward proving that the aircraft, the crews, and especially the nuclear gravity bombs would function reliably on a real mission. So they're planning on using these weapons, man. They're actually planning on using this. And even then they got the look of playing as well. And it says the B6112 bombs using the tests were joint test assemblies, which means they were the same as real bombs used in war, except they did not contain nuclear warheads. You see what I mean? They can contain nuclear warheads. So imagine America when the Lord said all these nations are going to come up against it, you're gonna have these planes flying, man, and dropping these nuclear bombs on them, man. This is Jeffrey Boyd, Sunday surveillance led for the B-6112 and the 13 bombs. Said the B-6112 F-35A stockpile flight test and captivity carry flight tests were the capstone accomplishment of a tremendous amount of planning and effort by those who were involved across not only Sandia but many other agencies. It says they added in addition these B-6112 stockpile flight tests represent the completion of the most B-6112 fighting testing surveillance scope in a year to date and the most in a given year for the foreseeable future. And yes, World War III, as the scriptures say. Wrong places. I searched in the wrong place. Yeah, Revelation 9 and 12. It says one woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. So obviously that being World War One. And Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, being the Second World War. And behold, and the third woe cometh quickly. So that third world war is coming, man. Whether we like it or not. And Carolyn said they added in an addition these B-6112 stockpile flights. Actually, I just read that. You see, the testers also performed for the first time thermal preconditioning on the bomb, therefore loading it into the F-35. This proved that the nuclear gravity bomb would work correctly in real-world temperatures and conditions. And the question is, why they're testing these things? Well, the obvious reason is they're going to use them. And this is on Sandia released videos and photos showing staff and Air Force crews carefully moving a B-6112 across the Hill Air Force Base flight line. Which again, I don't have the actual video because I took screenshots, but here it is. And it says Sardinia released videos and photos showing the staff and Air Force crews carefully moving a B-6112 across the Hill Air Force Base flight line early on August 19th. Then loading 2 of the bombs into the F-35's internal weapons base, therefore into the internal weapons base. Boy, it flew to Tonopah, if I'm even saying it right. It says one image shows a B-6112 nuclear gravity bomb, a joint test assembly without the nuclear explosive package. Joints just moments before hitting the ground at Tonopah after being released from an F-35A from a Hill Air Force Base. The B-61 line of nuclear gravity bombs has been used by the US Air Force and NATO. And NATO is also going to come up against America, as it makes mention in Revelation 18. Well, let me get 17 first. Revelation 17 and 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." Then again, here, the fire coming from those missiles, the ones that hold nuclear warheads, and the 10 horns being the European Union. Yeah. Oh, that's better. Cheers, man. Yeah, this is a B-61 line of nuclear gravity bombs have been used by the US Air Force and NATO for more than 50 years. In December of last year, the NNSA finished a major life extension program on the B-61-12, giving it at least 20 more years of service. This effort refurbished, reused, or replaced many nuclear and non-nuclear parts. So ask yourself what they're getting ready for. What is the US getting ready for? Obviously, it's getting ready to go to war, man. Being World War III. And it says the B-61-12 replaced older versions of the US stockpile, the B-61-3, 4, and 7. According to the 2021 Air Force release, it was the first major modernization of an Air Force nuclear warhead in over 30 years. As part of this upgrade, the Air Force Nuclear Weapons Center guided the correction of the new guided tailgate made by Boeing and integrated the bomb with the B-12 Spirit bomber, and the F-15E, F-16, and the F-35 fighters. Then also here's the missile right here. In which they're going to be literally under the planes so they can fire it. And it says Britain Adkins, the top of test range manager who oversaw these tests, said the effort involved 2 strong days of testing to evaluate their test assets. And the question is, why are they testing these things? That's the question. Why are they testing these things? And again, like I've been saying, man, because of World War III, it's coming. As the F-35 nuclear bomb test happened well before President Donald Trump posted on social media in late October, claiming he had told the Defense Department to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis, and suggesting other nations were secretly doing so. His comments raised fears that the US might end its more than 30-year hold on nuclear test explosions. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said in an early November interview that the government was working on tests involving parts of new nuclear weapons. Yeah, that new nuclear weapons. But these tests would not include a full nuclear explosion. So essentially, they're still using a bomb. They just haven't applied the nuclear warhead in it. And even then, that's the end of the article right there. But let me go to Isaiah 54 and 16. I said, behold, I'll create the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And again, a smith is someone that makes weapons. And which this smith that is talking about is the scientists. And first and foremost being them Nazi scientists. They came up with the blueprint for the first nuclear weapon. And it says, and I bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I've created a waster to destroy. And yes, that's exactly what this waster will do. And then again, going while the scriptures, you can go into Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50 and 25. And it says, the Lord have opened his armory, and the armory is where the weapons are kept, and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. And the weapons of his indignation being those nuclear missiles. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. And again, the Chaldeans being likened unto America. I'm sure it's in the book of Isaiah 13 and 19. You know, let me start 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the means against them, being the Russians, which shall not regard silver, and that's for gold, and which shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. So they're not going to care about the pregnant women that's over there, or the people that have children. As it says, their eyes shall not spare children. So there you go, man. Those evil thoughts, man. I said, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know he did that with fire and brimstone. And he's going to do it again with these nuclear missiles. And it says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. And it said, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. You're going to those Arabians. No more earning those no more earning those all that money, man. It's going to stop. I said, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and is it satires or satires? It might be satires. Shall dance there. And obviously when it goes into the satyr shall dance there, it's going to you know those lizards. They'll be in the desert, like in the sun, and they'll be shaking their bodies. Yeah, verse 22, and it says, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their peasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So yeah, the days of America is coming to an end, man. Like, Babylon can't be healed. It would have healed Babylon, but now look what the Lord said. In Jeremiah 51 and 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, so she may be healed. But then again, that balm being the very thing that heals things, man. When it says heal things, it's basically like a plaster. And it said we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And even then going into Amos. Amos 9 and 8 says, behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, being America, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saying that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, says the Lord. Yeah, going into the 1/3 that are over there in America. Yeah, Isaiah 9 and 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior, with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Essentially, that's how wars were originally fought. It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So yeah, this war that's coming, this World War III, it's gonna be by way of burning and fuel of fire, man. Hence why they're bringing about these missiles now, and hence why they're testing them. Isaiah 13 and 5. It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. And essentially that's what's going to happen, man. That's what's going to happen to America. The whole land's going to be destroyed, man. And this is how you for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. And the Almighty is to have complete power. Literally complete power, man. And that's how you know it's coming from a real power, a real God. Because the Lord does have complete power. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, go into heart attacks. And it says, and they shall be afraid, pangs of sorrow shall take hold of them. It says, and they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, and they shall be amazed one at another, their faces shall be as flames. So yeah, man, they're going to get caught up in the nuclear destruction, man. Verse 9 says, Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So yeah, you take the MOTB, you take the RFID micro CHIP, and you take the brain CHIP. You're going to be destroyed, man. The Lord going to destroy you, man, along with America. Isaiah 13 and 10. It says, For the stars of heaven and the constellations shall not give their light. And the reason why is because of the mushroom clouds, man, that come from a detonation of a nuclear missile. And it says, The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. Why? Because they're going to be covered. They're going to be covered by they're going to be covered by those nuclear missiles, man. When they explode, it's going to cover the whole heavens, man. And it says, And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, which iniquity going into sin on top of sin. And so I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So yeah, all those people who are prideful, man, especially in America, the people over there are prideful, and the Lord knows how to revenge their pride, man. Hence why he's going to bring these nuclear missiles upon them. Verse 7 says, I'll make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. And that's going to the elect men. Or you could even say the prophets. But then again, let's carry on. It says, Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. Which people like to call it Judgment Day. Which Judgment Day, that's literally Judgment Day, that's basically literally werewolf free. It's literally werewolf free. And carrying on, Isaiah 13 and 14. And it says, and it shall be as a chase roe, or a roe being what's it called, being a female deer, and as a sheep that no man taketh off. There shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. So yeah, people are going to try and escape Babylon, man, especially when those missiles come. But by that time, it's not going to work, man. That's just their children. Actually, yeah, I just read that. I actually haven't read this part, but further down I've read. But as it says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. And it says, their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. And yeah, you don't want to be ravished. That literally goes into GR. Well, I got spelled like that. GRAPE. That's what it basically goes into. Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. So basically, take off your throne and come down to where the grass is. It's basically being overthrown. And just sit on the ground, there's no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. And to take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. So basically they're going to be made naked. And so thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So when Yahushua came, he came as a man. But this time he's coming back as an angel, as a great power. As it says here, Isaiah 63:1. It says, who's this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Basra? So basically his raiment was stained. So that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness am mighty to save, and that's how it's shining. As it is mentioned in Hebrew 1 as well, that the Lord only deals with righteousness, and also that he's mighty to save. Especially when you go into the scripture here. Obadiah 1:17, it says, but upon Mount Zion, being the Israelites, being the people, shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And that's not talking about those Israelis. He's not talking about them. He's talking about the Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, including the Mexicans and Seminole Indians. And also the Israelite foreigners that have been scattered abroad. He may look like these other nations, but the bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you can tell who they are by way of their talent. They can sing, they can dance. They can basically do anything to put their mind to. In that sense, they're very talented. Whoa. Whoa. Kinda nice. It's kinda cold, man. It is kinda cold. But carrying on, it says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the vine vat? And the vine vat being where you stamp on the grapes to bring out the juice. He said, I trod in the winepress alone, and of the people there were none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and in my fury. I said, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment, being his clothes. Yeah, Isaiah 47:4. And it says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So yeah, all that, what's it called? All that glory that they once had is going to be taken away. He says, I was rough with my people. I produced my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, as thou verily heavily laid thy yoke. And even then, Jeremiah 17:4. It says here, Jeremiah 17:4, it says, and thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage. Which obviously we know Jeremiah's a prophet, so that was going to happen to the prophets and the other Israelites. It said that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knewest not. For you have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever, meaning a long period of time. Because if you go into the scriptures, it says that the Lord will redeem the Israelites. Joel chapter 3, man. Isaiah 47:7, it says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the light end of it. So yet they didn't care. Hence why they forgot about the captivity and the things that they've done. And they try to lie to us and say they haven't done anything. But the Lord knows what they've done, man. And verse 8 says, and therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures in America, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall know the loss of children. 42 minutes. But you're carrying on, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of thy sorceries, you had the sorceries, man. We know what they'll be doing. Yeah, the sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. So yeah, man. I'm going to the breakdown for that. It's over here. Revelation 11 and Revelation 18 and 8. I swear someone's making chicken and it smells nice. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The iPhone 17 Pro Max. Please send it to my house. I need it. And when I say I need it, I mean I'm tired of this phone here that I'm using to record. It's one of those ones I need it, man. Well, yeah, carrying on, Revelation 18 and 8. It says, therefore shall plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. Yeah, verse 10, Isaiah 47 and 10. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou hast said, none seeth us. As you know, it said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And so they've said that they're gods. That's what they've said. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee. So yeah, that evil that the Lord's gonna send, man. It says, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So yeah, this destruction, it hasn't happened before. And when it does happen, yeah, when it does happen, it's going to be something new. It's just like when the Lord flooded the earth, man. It was something new. And just like these missiles, people haven't seen these missiles before, man. So when they see them, they're going to be afraid, very afraid. Yeah, but it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, suddenly. And said, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Usually I'll just blow that down, but carrying on. It says, stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth. It so be thou shall be able to profit, it so be thou mayest prevail. Because yeah, America be getting all that money, man. But even then, it's borrowed money. I'm praying to see how much somehow it's right. There's a chariot over there, man. I can see it. It's crazy. I was just looking up for the chariots, and I finally see one right over there, and it's flashing. Let me show you, man. Yeah, look at it. It's literally the color of amber. Ugh. Dirty smoke. Yeah, it's just stand now with thine enchantments. So yeah, the Lord's saying, carry on doing your witchcraft. And with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so thou mayest prevail. So thou wearied in the multitudes of thy counsels, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So essentially, that being praise to how much now shine. It's literally flashing like that. Oh, it's just moved. It's literally just moved. It's literally the colour of amber. Yeah, now you know why I'll be coughing. You see, like, I can't stop looking at the chariot now. Now let me carry on so I can finish this real quick. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou hast said, none see me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge they have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. So Esau claiming to be a god again? Actually, yeah, I read that. Yeah, it says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels, let now the astrologers and the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So yeah, the Lord's saying, trust in your wickedness, man. Let's see if the wickedness is able to deliver you. And it says, I'm at for real. It says, behold, they shall be as stubble. They shall be as stubble. It says, and fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. They shall from those nuclear missiles. Damn. And you see how loud those fireworks are. Just imagine those nuclear missiles. Yeah, it says, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, no fire to sit before it. So yeah, this fire won't stop until it's burned. Yeah, the fire won't stop until everything's been burned, man. Like it says here, Kindle. Jeremiah 50:32 says, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. So yes, everything is going to be destroyed, man. And it says, thus shall they be unto thee with him that has laboured, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, and none shall save thee. Even then, I've actually finished the video right now. But yeah, man. Yeah, and enjoy the fireworks. I want to give a praise on the glory to Yahweh, Shema Shabbat, Shema Kapadash. And yeah, man, Shalom, man.